Hello and welcome to our first tutorial on HTML series for singlemanweb.com, where we teach you how to build a website from the scratch and how to do all the stuffs on your own. So from the designing, templating, coding, programming and so on until the search engine optimization and monetization. So now we start with HTML, which is the backbone of every web page, and because HTML stands just for the markup text, we start with the easiest and most basic text editor, which is of course the Notepad. Well, if I write any message in the Notepad and I save it, and as you can see I save it in the desktop so it's easy to see, but I don't save it as a text document, I will add .html. I could add HTML, but it doesn't mean any difference. So as you can see, here is my new file. I will open it in the browser, and because it's HTML file opened in the browser, it's technically a web page. As you can see, it shows us the message. Because it's just markup text, we just need a text and some marks. Let's start with the easiest and the most basic tag, which is HTML, which tells the browser nothing more, nothing less but what is enclosed in the tag is written in HTML, and the browser should act like that. So first of all, I added two tags. Tag is the mark enclosed in angle brackets. And as you can see, this is the starting tag or opening, and this one is closing tag. What is enclosed between is now considered to be HTML. Well, before we go to any fun stuff, I will show you what does it do. Well, as you can see, it does nothing. Why? Because we didn't add any elements, any text or anything like that. We just add a note that this is HTML. So I could add more things, but we start with the semantics or the logic structure of the web. Every web is usually divided into a body and a head part. Well, the body part is what we usually can see, so there should be all the links, images, text and so on. In head part, there is the important stuff like the imported scripts and style sheets, Facebook IDs, meta tags about the authors. Well, for the starters, in the head section, we just need the title tag, which tells you what to display on the top in the browser, because otherwise it just displays the name of the file. So let's say it's my first web page. And I will save it and reload it or refresh it, and as you can see, now I have here the title. Well, that's enough for the head part, and we go straight to the body part. As you can see, all the text until now was paired, and we will use nothing else. So we usually start any article or any web page with the heading. The headings is written as H1, H2, H3 and so on, and it just tells the important in the hierarchy. So let's say this is the important heading. Just save it again, and now we added some new content. So as you can see, this is a heading. What's the difference? It has bigger font size, and it could have a bigger font weight, different font face and so on. So the headings are pre-styled. It means that we have 6 of them prepared to use, so we should use all of them. Less important heading, and we have prepared them until H6. Usually H6 is much less important, and as you can see, it's even the it's even smaller than the common text around here. So we start with heading 1, then we go to heading 2. Usually on the web pages there are used only 1, 2 and 3, but if you have a very large website you will use all of them. Of course we can style it later with CSS styles or something like that, but now it's enough to have it pre-styled. So let's go to the text. Well, hello world, it's nice, but one thing, the text never should be alone. Everything in HTML should be enclosed in a tag, and the good tag for this is the paragraph, which tells the browser only thing, and that inside the paragraph is a text, and it should be proper styled as a paragraph, so there is some margin and padding. I just add the lorem ipsum $sit amet. It's just the web designer gibberish, which means absolutely nothing, but it's good for creating some sample text. So I will save it, refresh it, and as you can see I added something more than I wanted, and so you can see there is some padding between the text. If I want to break the text, I could add the unpaired tag br, or it could be written like this. This means it's the opening and the close tag at once, because we don't need to enclose anything inside it. As you can see, if it's one paragraph but long and broken, there is no padding between the lines. If there are 2 paragraphs, the padding is added. One interesting thing is that if you want to add more space, it doesn't work if you just press your backspace many times. The maximum number of spaces is 1. So it's good to properly style your text with paragraphs, and we can make the padding and margins around them to add more space later with the styles, but we are not able to do it in HTML, or at least in some nice way. And so that's about the text. And last tag we will learn is the anchor tag. Anchor is a link. Well, usually people just say link, not anchor. And if I save it, you can see I added another text element. There is nothing special about it, but I could add inside a tag an attribute. Attribute can broaden the meaning of the tag or specify anything special inside it. So for example, in the anchor tag we need to define our target. So I will add our website or the Google.com, for example. So this is take note that it should be enclosed in quotation marks or apostrophes, and if I refresh it once again, you can see the graphics changed, and now the link is blue and it's underlined. That's the most common style for the link. If I click it, well, I should go to google.com. Well, I go back because we don't want to go on Google. If I want another anchor, I will add it. Well, let's make it to our website, singleweb.com. Well, of course, it doesn't have to be labeled link. Web design for everyone. And as you can see, it just adds another link. Beware, because the anchor tag is text, so there is no reason why it should be broken in two, so it's all in one row. Again, if you want to break it into two, we can add the tag which breaks it into 2 rows. So like this. If I click the web design for everyone, I will just go to our singlemanweb.com page, and as you can see, here we are on the best page for the beginners. So I think this is enough for the first tutorial. Don't forget to enclose everything in HTML, to style properly the opening and closed tags. Try to learn from the beginning the proper part, so add the body part and the head part. use the title, so you don't have on the top just your file name. Learn about the headings because it's important for search engine optimization. Don't forget that you can't have text alone, so it should be enclosed in paragraphs. Don't forget that there are tags which are not paired, or they are paired with themselves, like the break tag, and that there are something called attribute, which tells us more about the tag, and we can add more relevant information and styles to it. This like the ref attribute in the anchor tag. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe our channel, like us on Facebook, and regularly visit our website where we post good tips for web designing and much more every day. So see ya.